Hi, so this is Ramona with BluePromotions, and we're in Denver, Colorado at the Larimer Lounge. Have with us here the folk Americana roots music duo Madison Violet. Hi, ladies. Welcome,
Hi,
welcome to Denver. Welcome to America.
Thank you.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Brenley.
I'm Lisa.
Hi, girls. So you're known as Madison Violet. You know, when I was looking on the internet today, I saw some songs that said Mad Violet. How did that name change come about?
Well, we were Mad Violet for about 8 years, and then a lot of people, when we played festivals over in Australia and over in Europe, and that people would sort of expect something different than what they actually came to see, because they thought that we were going to be some kind of like a, I don't know, punk band or like a
Comedy
duo or something.
Although we can be quite funny.
The mad part of it was, a little confusing, I think. And then we found out that there was a band called the Mad Violets, so we decided we needed to change it anyway, and we didn't want to lose the entire association, so we decided on Madison Violet.
Yeah, I like the name. I do have to say this just as a disclaimer, or as actually as a greeting. My husband lives in Germany, and he's seen y'all 3 times now over there in Waldkraiburg, and
nice.
So he said for me to make sure to give you greetings from Bavaria, from Teeny, Claudia, Helmut, George, and Gerald.
Grüezi.
So y'all are Canadian. America is your backyard. So how is it touring Europe, and how have you found this tour to be in America?
Well, it's a pretty short tour, this one, because we're only here for about 5 dates. It's been fantastic so far. I feel like we're sort of just getting our feet wet here. We've done a lot of European touring, and this is really our very first headlining tour. And so the welcome has been warm, and I think
we're playing great cities.
Yeah,
we started in L.A., San Francisco, Seattle, Denver,
you were in Seattle
Boston.
last night, right?
Yeah, so
okay.
it's been a whirlwind because we've been on planes. I've been through so many security checks this week. Broken suitcases.
Oh no!
But United Airlines actually replaced Lisa's suitcase today with a brand
they gave me a new one.
Oh, kudos to United.
Yeah,
nice.
They didn't break my guitar.
Yeah, so kudos.
Well, that's
either.
I'd rather the suitcase
be
broken.
Their customer service was fantastic today.
That's awesome. That's a great endorsement. They should hire y'all. Okay, so who I know on the videos that I've seen of you from like Switzerland and Germany, you have a bass player with you, but tonight it's just the 2 of you, right? So how does that? Well, I guess can you tell me who was that bass player earlier this year in Germany?
His name is Adrian Larishan,
Mm-hmm.
and he plays with us for probably 95% of our shows. But as I was mentioning, flying every single day for 5 days straight. Having a great big bass,
right?
That because he plays upright, it's just a nightmare to fly.
Right.
And so we just decided, and I mean, we're also the first 8 years of our career we played as a duo, so we're quite prepared to come out and comfortable to come out. And as a matter of fact, we're doing a bunch of dates in May, and we're going to be doing those as a duo as well. Just for, it's a nice change every once in a while.
Right, yeah. And you're actually, right now, you're promoting your newest disc, The Good and Goodbye, and that came out, September of last year, right? September of 11?
Yeah, in Canada, but it actually just came out here
really?
In America. I think it came out like a few weeks ago.
Oh,
or something like that. So it's a new release down here. It's funny because, we've been playing these songs now for months, and I don't want to say they don't feel old, but you feel like you want to start doing new stuff, but then you release a new album in a new territory.
Right. Well, new market, new territory.
Market,
right.
Yeah.
So and then, as long as we're talking about CDs or releases, you also had No Fool for Trying in 2009. You had Caravan in 2006. You had Worry the Jury in 2004. You girls stay busy. You don't let any grass grow under your feet, do you?
I think we should have 8 albums by now. I mean, some people do. Like Ron Sexsmith is a great friend of ours, and he's got a new album every year. But I guess it's just the fact that we, in order to survive, in order to like sustain, music, doing it full time, we need to tour.
And your drug habit.
And my drug habit.
Oh, now that's how rumors get started.
No, we just, when we're on the road, we have money in our pockets, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, that's that's the goal, right? I mean,
yeah.
To be able to support yourself doing something that you love. So, do you both write, or?
Mhm.
Yeah, we collaborate on everything.
We both write music, lyrics, melody, and every song is different. Whatever comes from which either one of us is always different. Right,
and it seems like a lot of your stuff it comes from the heart. It's experiences that you're going through, or things that you've seen happen around you, and I know my favorite is Small in My Heart. I just that's probably a lot of people's favorite one. But I was listening today. The Ransom, I like that one. Emily, I have a friend named Emily, and when you were talking about the hurricanes, how do you?
Is your friend like a hurricane too?
She is. She's a mandolin player, and she can be a whirlwind. So as far as writing the songs and getting the ideas, just how does that come about?
I think exactly what you just said. A lot of life experiences.
Yeah, some people might say you're lucky because we've had a lot of tragedy. It gives you lots of writing.
Right.
It gives you lots of material, but of course we're not lucky at all. It's a terrible thing. But sometimes the songwriter it's like a little bit easier when you've had when something really happened, like something so emotional happens in your life. We don't need to go searching for, fiction.
Inspiration.
Yeah, it kind of comes to us.
Do you have a favorite song? Are there songs that are your favorites to play?
I think they change sometimes.
Yeah.
I love playing the Ransom, and I think it's just because it's something it's a song that really brings you back to the reality of how. You can have highs and lows on the road.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of artists, can relate to that.
Yeah.
And but of the new ones, I'd have to say, I like playing ballads. I'm always up for the ballads. I like playing Stuck in Love, and I like the sad ones.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Is there a favorite venue or a favorite location that you've played?
I have lots of them, really. I mean, Culture Kirsch in Cologne is amazing. Le Fable in Grenada is amazing to play at, which are kind of polar opposite type venues. But we've been really lucky. I mean, we've been at it for 12 years, so we've done a lot of venues, 200 shows a year, kind of thing. So
is that what you average, about 200 a year?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you really are busy. Wow.
Yeah.
This will be my first time seeing you live, but in the videos that I've seen, you both seem to have just a great camaraderie on stage, and so that brings me to, how did you meet? How did you come together and decide to become this international touring act and take the show on the road?
I'm an eavesdropper.
Pretty much. She heard me say my last name, which is McIsaac, which is not really... There's not a lot of McIsaacs in Toronto. This was in Toronto. I'm from the East Coast, and it's very much an East Coast Cape Breton Scottish name. And my brother is a fairly famous musician in Canada, very famous musician in Canada. And Brenley came over and introduced herself and said, "Are you McIsaac from Cape Breton?" And I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am." And lo and behold, we got to talking, and her father not only grew up right down the road where I grew up, but our fathers went to school together, and there's a lot of long-standing history before we had even met with our families. And then she invited me out to jam with her band. She had a sort of an ambient trip-hop band called Zoe Bliss, and I went out and jammed with them, and then we eventually stripped it down to the duo. Brenley was at that time writing sort of a bit more rootsy material that wasn't really appropriate for the band she was in,
and the band was sort of ready to disband anyway. So it was the timing was good.
So you've been together for 12 years now as a duo?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good long stint.
It is a chunk.
Yeah, and I know that you both come from large families, so it might be nice to just kind of have just the two of you instead of this huge extended family.
Yeah, my mother's one of 10 children. My father's one of 16 children.
Holy cow.
So I grew up thinking, there's no one that can have a bigger family than me. And Lisa's 15.
She beat you?
15, and
my father's mother had 15. My mother's mother had 18.
Oh, good Lord.
She had 3 sets of twins.
So you guys are like a little village all by yourself. I mean, just
we are
just
actually
between
really
the two
are.
families.
It's hilarious. I think most of our families, they all had to move away to find
somebody who wasn't in the family.
To find a lover, and then they could move back.
That's funny. Okay.
But a lot of my dad's brothers actually built around the house where they grew up in. So they call it Cooperville now, because my for some reason the McEacherns my McEachern clan is referred to as the Coopers. That's how you distinguish the McEachern family that I'm from other McEacherns on the island, because my great-great-grandfather was a barrel maker, which are called Coopers. So now they call it Cooperville, which is like in Craignish, which is like all my dad's brothers and all built houses around my grandma's house.
So you really are a village.
We're a little bit.
Well, that makes for a lot of babysitters, right, for the kids?
Sure enough.
Everybody's family. So let's see, just a couple more questions. I noticed that y'all have won some. You actually have a real good history of winning some nice awards and some kudos. And one thing that stood out that I saw was the John Lennon songwriting contest, among many others. So how do you feel about that? I mean, that's a great accomplishment.
I mean, it's a huge honor to be honored for your songwriting, especially for that song. I was talking about The Ransom, which is the one that's about being on the road and just feeling really road weary and wanting to go home because you sort of feel like you hit rock bottom. And
the judges, Elton John, Wyclef Jean, and Mary J. Blige, they were some of the judges that actually picked the song. So, it's just kind of cool that they listened to it and they picked it as the favorite song within all the genres. So, they put our little folk song up against the rock song, the pop song, and the jazz song, and the polka, or whatever it was. There were 12 different genres, and
the old polka.
And you won.
And we won, yeah.
We won.
That's very cool. So I guess if we want to catch more of Madison Violet, if we want to see you at a show or get some merchandise or find out more, how do we contact you? How do we find you?
Well, Brenley lives at
let's talk about websites.
MadisonViolet.com, or we have a Facebook, and if you go to our website, you'll find us in any way to get our merchandise, and go on and like us on Facebook and find us on Twitter and all those
all the social media.
Yeah.
And for booking, we can get that information.
Yeah, it's all on there. Yeah,
So,
there's sort of a section with agents for every kind of country and territory, and so you just, wherever you're from, pick your territory and go to that section.
All right, so you're up to play anywhere. If you'll play downtown Denver, you'll play anywhere.
We'll play anywhere.
All right. Well, it was really nice meeting y'all, getting to know you a little bit.
Thank you.
Can't wait to hear you. Have a good show tonight.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you. Thanks for coming.
Cheers.